Coverage here on the body of a missing Lake Tyler boater that was found after the multi-hour search. Our reporter JD Conti reports here with some more information from Smith County Emergency Services District 2 spokeswoman Nikki Simmons. Let's take a look here.
All right, Nikki, I guess we'll start from last night. What was the original call and how did it develop?
Yes, absolutely. So last night, Sunday evening, we got a call a little before 8 p.m. For a water rescue. 911 received a call saying that a 19-year-old male had fallen off the front of a boat. Friends had called it in. So, of course, Smith County Emergency Services immediately responds. We brought several crews out here. We had 3 boats on the water performing search. The Texas Game Wardens were also out here. And then we quickly reached out to Longview Fire Department. We partner with them often. They have an established dive team. We asked them to go ahead and send some guys out to help in aiding for that search. So we searched last night. We were on the water till about 1:30, 1:45 this morning. There were some things we needed to overcome. We needed to revisit with the witnesses. As far as the search grid area, it was still fairly large. Just from people's different perspectives, where they were at on their boat, were they moving, were they stationary? So we really felt like we needed to revisit with them and kind of narrow that search grid down a little bit. In addition to that, the guys came back out here this morning, about 9 o'clock-ish. Of course, we had better conditions as far as it being daytime, not nighttime hours. We had a few new eyes out on the water using all of that sonar that's available on the boats. And of course, they were able to identify an anomaly in the water off of the sonar and really kind of pinpoint what they thought could potentially be a recovery situation. They did. They were able to hit that marker and locate this individual within about 8 feet, less than 8 feet of where that marker was, and recover.
And can you give us some more information about why the search ended last night?
Yeah, so last night, again, about 1:30, 1:45, not that we ever want to end a search and, have people continuing to be concerned or to be wondering why. If it was my family member, certainly I would want all efforts put into that. But then we have to take into consideration, again, just getting some clear minds out there. We had such a large search grid and we really weren't getting close to anything. We could have had a much larger area and the divers were just kind of going in and out of the water and not having a lot of success. In addition, because it was such late hours, it was so dark outside, we just really weren't getting a clear picture of where we needed to look at. And again, when all of these individuals who were involved, whether they were on the original boat or were they a witness, it's a traumatic situation to see what occurred. And so what you remember just in the moment might be a little bit different when you've had a minute to take a step back and calm down. And so being able to come out just a few hours later once the sun was up, talk to people, take a moment, calm down, and revisit. Again, we were out there. The divers were in the water about 11:15, and between 11:15 and 11:30, they had recovery.
And who was driving?
I can't comment on any of that information. Any of that will have to come through the Texas Game Warden's office.
And how deep was he in the water from where he was last, where he fell off?
Yes, as far as those exact measurements, I don't know. I know that, again, there is some concern about, he falling off the front of the boat. Was he drug any? Was it, it was pretty close to where they thought it could be. And again, in searching on that sonar, within the marker that they hit where they saw like, hey, this looks like there could be something here, it was probably less than 8 feet. So I think they might have been 20, 21 foot of water.
And can you tell me, were you guys using sonar yesterday as well, or is that new?
Yes, no, we were using that on all of the boats last night as well. Yeah.
You don't know if black jackets were used last night on the boat, or?
That will have to come from the Game Warden's office, yes.
All right, I'm assuming anything involving an arrest or investigations have to come from them as well?
Yes. I can tell you that no arrest has been made in relation to this specific incident. The Game Wardens have not made an arrest.
Okay.
And so, could you tell us when it went from a search to a kind of recovery when that situation happened?
I can't always give you a definitive timeline on when it becomes that. Last night, I know as first responders, when they were first out here, there was just a lot of differences in the story. So as far as when the fall actually happened, where did the boat go after? Again, was a body drug? All of those things play a factor into that. And so if the body isn't immediately found, there's just some concerns there.
So are you all not releasing any information as far as like this kid, the boat, or anything like that?
So he fell off the front of the boat. We do know that. That came in on the 911 call. It was also came in on the 911 call that the individuals on the boat believed that they did hit him again with the propeller. So those things we can confirm based on the 911 call. Yes.
Do we know how many people, or do we know how many were on the boat? Any of those details?
It's my understanding there were 6, but that could just be hearsay.
I don't know if were they all friends on the boat?
That's my understanding. I don't believe there were any family members on the boat. I think it was all friends.
Are you releasing his name at this time?
Eli Sweeney.
Normal spelling?
E-L-I, yes, E-L-I-S-W-I-N-N-E-Y.
Is there an estimated time of death last night, or will somebody call that at some
I think
point?
that will be from the JP's office. So, yeah,
And is there going to be an autopsy?
that'll have to come from the family.
And who found the body?
So we partnered with Longview Fire Department with their dive and rescue team. So on our boat, we had both Smith County and Longview Fire Department. Again, they were out on that search grid this morning, kind of narrowing down the areas into which they wanted to search, found that anomaly, and pretty quickly were able to locate him and recover.
And do we know if there was any like alcohol present on the boat or anything like that?
That's a game warden's question.
Okay, thank you.
I'm good.
Is there anything we haven't asked you that you think people should know, or anything else?
I don't think so. We just appreciate the support and collaboration of all of our neighboring departments that were able to come out here. We had assistance again from Longview Fire Department. There were volunteer firefighters out here. EMS was out here, Smith County Sheriff's Office, Texas Game Warden. So really to be able to see all of those individuals come together and handle this situation the best that they could we just really appreciate that, being able to work together so well.
There were a couple of civilian volunteers out there as well.
Yes, that's my understanding. Mm-hmm.
And is the investigation still open as far as like the temperature, anything like that?
I think so, yeah. The game wardens will be able to officially release a statement once the investigation is concluded.
Do you have any idea when we could expect something from the game wardens?
I've been working with their PIO. It's possible that she'll put a statement out, but I don't know at this time. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, let me see if I can get one of those.
All right, everyone. That was JD Conti with the latest out there at Lake Tyler as we receive